Let's try this again. Alright, here's the story. I just got done putting all these 1:5:2 ratio roller tip rockers in and adjusting them. I did a zero lash on all of them. It's all done. What I adjusted was the guide plate. Yes, these are adjustable. They have oversized holes in the middle, slotted on one end, and a slightly oversized on the other end. So you have room to go back and forth and in and out. The reason why, for one reason, this is a new motor. I got 152s from the machine builder because he had put on 165s. He gave me these adjustable guides. The adjustable guides come out too far here. They actually went over the gasket. I couldn't get the valve covers on. I would have had to cut everything. And then I realized, I didn't realize that the factory ones were adjustable. I've never seen, this is what happened. He put my motor together, right? So here's your, I took his valve covers off because I wasn't using his, and I see this. That's not straight. That's cocked. And it wasn't necessarily that bad on all of them, but there was at least five or six that were really kicked to the point where half of the roller tip was on the valve stem. I wasn't having that. What's up, Mousy Pants? So I told him about that. The other issue was, I'm trying to find a good spot where you can really see. If you look inside there, you see the push rod. I got a little bit of clearance between the head, and that's a compressed spring. I probably have a 1/16 of an inch clearance between the head and the push rod, which is good. When you run 1:6:5 ratio rockers on these Pontiac heads, and I'll describe it right here. See, in that hole, this hole, the center two are open, and this one is, I think this one's clear because it's down lower. They sell, Paul Spots from Spots Performance actually sells a jig that you could bolt on here, and it drills. You could drill out that hole. It goes down about 1.5 inches on an angle to clearance. When you run 1:6:5 ratios, you come close. He ran the motor. I pulled the valve covers, and I noticed the push rods were right against the guide plate, and you probably couldn't get a piece of paper between the block and the push rods. Now, I checked all the push rods when I pulled everything out. Nothing is bent. There's no gouges. You could just see where they had just touched. Not all the time, but a lot of times with Pontiacs, you got to clearance the head for the push rod when you're running a high ratio rocker. He saw it. He said he noticed it. He said, I noticed it wasn't him, this and that. I said, dude, I'm not comfortable with it. It's a brand new motor. I should not have anything touching anything else that shouldn't be touching. When in doubt, clearance them. Get the tool. I don't know what it costs. I'm going to buy one. I prep heads. These are 74 4.6 heads. These are GTO head, 74 GTO heads. So people will probably knock that, but they're port matched. I port matched them myself. I never ended up using them. I was going to rebuild the whole 350. This guy had a 400 block that was rebuilt that someone never used. Went through it and did it all for me. This is a 30 over 400. So it's a 406. It's a 77 block. It is, I think it's, well, I'm trying to think of the specs. I want to say it wasn't zero deck height. It was like 5 thousandths under zero or 10 thousandths under zero deck height. 670 heads. Those are 70 cc heads, I believe. Those are 67 heads. Anyway, it's going to put my compression ratio right around 10 to 10 and a quarter to 1 compression. The motor will run. The motor actually ran. It has been run. But like I said, the alignment was twisted. Probably about 6 of these were all twisted off to the side. And realizing after I pull everything apart, they're slotted. What happened was the guy just slapped the thing together because he had my motor for a year and I wanted it. And he threw it together. That's all. Well, all it came down was the guy was pressed for time. He doesn't have any help in his shop, and he just slapped the thing together. That's all it was, and it's kind of bullshit. So he knows I'm not happy. He ended up getting these 152s. He had the adjustables rockers. He was very apologetic. He ain't a bad guy. Friends of mine know him. A friend of mine turned me on to him. And my buddy was very disappointed, but anyway, so we got that set, and moving on to some other things I got to do to this, which is I got a new flex plate. Hopefully the motor will be going in soon.